on NTH Channel 5, the Unity Station, your daily dose of information, of health, of motivation, of lifestyle. My name is Cynthia Opele. I'm your host this beautiful Wednesday morning. Joining us first, like we always, is our inspiring coach. Coach Mema Ekukinam, and this time she's saying to us, you have it all. Indirectly saying to us that everything that we need for success, we already have it. Let's hear from her and we'll be right back.
Good morning, Abuja. On today's episode, I'd like to remind you that you've weathered storms like this before, and whatever you're dealing with is just another cloud passing by. Yesterday's setback prepared you for today's rebound. Maybe the first quarter of this year didn't unfold as you had hoped. Perhaps you've lost jobs, faced strained relationships, lost a loved one, or dealt with personal setbacks that have left you feeling disheartened. Those moments exist in all our lives, no matter how we dress or look. There are times when we all, feel scorched, tired, when our hope is smothered under the weight of disappointments. But when your dreams seem reduced to ashes, don't forget that ashes also enrich the soil. Our failures and experiences can lay the groundwork for amazing growth and transformation. So today, remember that this is not the end. When it looks like you've been reduced to nothing, I want you to realize that that is still a fertile ground to start again. These moments don't define us. They are just chapters in our story, not our conclusion. Like the phoenix, you also have the power to rise from the ashes, renewed and stronger. Today, embrace the lessons that the first quarter has taught you. Release the burdens, find clarity and peace. I'm big on quotes, so I'm going to leave you with one. As Karl Barth once said, although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. I'm going to take that again. Although no one can go back to the past and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. So the ball is in your court. I wish you well, and I pray you will never look like what you have been through. Your story can be the story of someone who walked through fire but doesn't smell like smoke.
Thank you so much, Mema Ekukinam. I hope you've been lifted. I hope you've been inspired. I hope you picked one or two things from there. Now it's time for us to go into something that has to do with your beauty and your glow. We want to talk about health and beauty benefits of a wonderful ingredient. That's the ingredient that you have in your kitchen that you always see. Now let's see the health and beauty benefits of onions. Let's go there.
Onions have a strong taste and a sharp, pungent flavor from the family of herbaceous perennial flowering plants loaded with health and beauty benefits. They are vegetables and the most widely cultivated species of the genus Allium. There are different types of onions. We have the red onion, white, yellow, green, and lots more. Did you know that onions are packed with vitamins and minerals that your body needs to stay healthy? Onions are also excellent for your skin and hair. Let's see how much people know about the health and beauty benefits of onions.
I remember those days when we were little. If we have cold, my mom would slice a piece of onions and put it under our legs and wear us socks, and the cold will disappear. So onions is very good. It's also good for the eyes.
If you notice, if you cut the onions, if the flavor got into your eyes, it gives you some pepperish. Now, in that aspect of it, if there are some worms and other things inside your eyes, I think that has been the health aspect of it, which also help in recycling your eyesight and give you a good functioning.
It's very healthy and very nice. Like putting onions inside food is like it gives a food a very good flavor.
Whether it is eaten raw or cooked, they are loaded with benefit and can be eaten anytime in the day. Although raw onions are said to have higher levels of organic sulfur compounds that offer numerous benefits, one small onion, experts say, contains about 28 calories. Let's join dietitian Rosavalin Uzoma Obie as she shares valuable insights on the surprising health and beauty benefits of this common kitchen staple called onions.
The first thing to note is that onions have protein contained in it. It has a little amount of fat, not up to 1 gram. It has an amount of carbohydrate. It's more enriched with vitamin C and other trace elements and minerals. Onion is one healthy vegetable that contains the dietary fiber type of vegetables, which we see as which we find in the polysaccharides as well. Now, onion contains sugar. That sugar is coming from our refined sugar as well, which you can find in glucose, in fructose, and the rest of them. Onions contains probiotics. Yes, the probiotics that help in gut health, and those probiotics help to prevent bacterial growth, especially when you come in contact with some of these people who have issues with their digestive tract disorders and infections as well. Onions is a healthy meal for that. Onions contains antibiotics. In fact, onions is said to have over 17 types of antibiotics, but I will be mentioning 3. That's the quercetin. The quercetin is one antioxidant, that is seen in onions that also helps in reduction of this bacterial growth in foods. We have the quercetin, we have the anthocyanins. The anthocyanins as well are found in onions. Now, some of these antibiotics help to fight free radicals. Free radicals are those things that fight the cells in the body and increase the susceptibility of the body to be exposed to infections, exposed to disease, and it slows down wound healing as well. Onions is another beautiful materials that some people tend to abuse the intake of onions, but the beautiful thing is that it has an anti-inflammatory property as well. That means it helps to protect some of these inflammations that we can get over time. By inflammation, that means that particular organ tissue has been sored. You see that redness. Sometimes it's something that you can use to heal, but like dietitians, we always encourage that these are meals, though they can be consumed raw, though they can be consumed fried, baked, grilled, but it's best that we consume them, incorporating them in our meals. In such a way we'll get everything we require in onions.
Wow, you would agree with me that onions enhances your skin, your beauty. Apart from you just using it as an ingredient in your kitchen, you've also found out that it's very good for your skin. It's time for us to go on our first break on the show. Please don't go anywhere or don't touch your dial. We'll be right back.
I welcome you on today's ride on the show Good Morning Abuja.
This is Window on Abuja.
We have everything it takes to compete with any nation all across the world.
How do we make it? We are ready to produce.
I've been contributing to the development of your kingdom.
Hello and welcome to Young Hearts.
Our focus today will be on hepatitis B. Ladylike!
This is Entertainment Gist.
In the 14th century, 15th, 16th century, and even 17th.
That is for zakah to cure our greed.
The purpose why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to create humanity.
The Bible talks about a man called Apollos. This is NTA Abuja Channel 5.
See you same time.
And have a great and blessed week ahead.
This is Call the Police.
Live on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
The least you and I can do is to assist them by making security our primary concern.
Security is everyone's business. This is why NTA Channel 5 Abuja is collaborating with the FCT Police Command in providing a weekly platform for up-to-date security check in the FCT. Join us for the real information every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying tuned with us on Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5. The Unity Station. Is time for us to discuss safety emergency. Okay, recently there was a building collapse, and then we know those who are in charge took action. They went into action to make sure that lives were rescued, and then a lot of things happened. Okay, we're talking about NEMA. We have the head of operations, NEMA Abuja, here to talk to us about what happened and what they were able to do, lessons learned, challenges, the number of people they rescued. So please join me as I welcome Zachary Abubakar. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, viewers. Thank you for having me this morning.
I'm sure a lot of people that were there at the scene of the collapse will be saying kudos to NEMA for the response, the way you people responded, swiftly. Let's look at what happened. How were you people called? What was the first step you took?
Thank you very much, Cynthia. National Emergency Management Agency saddled the responsibility of managing disaster in every ramification. In doing that, we have responsibility to prevent disaster from happening. If it does happen, it's also our responsibility to build the capacity of stakeholders, including communities where this disaster happens, to be able to contain that disaster. It's also our responsibility to coordinate agencies, mobilize resources to see how we can respond to that particular disaster effectively and efficiently. It is also within our purview to facilitate recovery process for those impacted by the disaster. In this particular incident of building collapse that happened on Saturday, I think 3rd or 2nd of this
Saturday
month.
Was 2nd.
Okay, 2nd of this month. We already in NEMA will have a contact office, contact unit where calls are directed to. Public is already aware of our emergency numbers, 112, and the toll-free emergency number 0800 call NEMA. If you call on any of these numbers, people are on ground 247 to pick your call and attend to you. What is most important, as you are making the call from the public, you are telling us what has happened specifically and the location of that particular incident. So when we received the call from our quorum that there was a building collapse in a Kado fish market. Kado fish market, so that was around a life camp area. So as quickly as possible, the call was directed to myself, being the head of NEMA Abuja Operation Office, because the incident happened within FCT. Yeah, if it has happened in other locations outside Abuja, they will have called, because in all the states we have from national emergency, that is national office at the headquarters, we have zonal offices. So depending on where the incident happened, the head of operation with the responsibility of coordinating disaster in that area will be called. So this particular one happened in FCT, and myself being the head of Abuja Operation Office of NEMA, I was quickly called. And immediately I alerted the lead agency for building collapse, because every disaster situation has a lead agency, a lead organization that man the command and control, who are responsible for coordinating the operation, the hands-on, of providing the necessary search and rescue service in that particular disaster scenario. So as quickly as in this case, in building collapse, we have the fire service that is handling the responsibility to man the command and control and coordinate the search and rescue operation at that level. So quickly, I reached out to them, alerted them, and they deploy their own resources in terms of men and equipment as swiftly as possible to the disaster scene in Kado. And as immediately I did that, I was also able to reach to some of our stakeholders, that have roles to play in managing disaster that associated with building collapse. Federal Road Safety Corps was quickly alerted so that they can also control the traffic and the crowds, because accessibility is very important. For you to provide the necessary rescue operation, you must be able to access the location of that disaster incident as quickly as possible. So Federal Road Safety was contacted. The Nigerian police was also reached out to provide security, and the Nigerian Red Cross, for their expertise in providing first aid and some other critical stakeholders to also reach out to. So as quickly as possible, we got there, mobilized all these resources together, and the search and rescue operation commenced. So
what was the cause? Was it that the building was old, or it was under construction, or what really happened? Yeah,
from what we observed, the building was actually under construction, because we also saw some buildings within that vicinity that were under construction. But from the information we gathered from the residents, within the neighborhood, they said that they used to have a security man that resides there within that uncompleted building. But specifically, we wouldn't know what was responsible for the collapse. But all we knew was that there was a building collapse, where we all mobilized the necessary resources and stakeholders and attended to as quickly as possible.
Okay, so how many people were injured? How many were rescued?
Okay, fortunately or unfortunately, just 2 people. Like I said, it's an uncompleted building, so just 2 people. Just 2 people. In fact, as a matter of fact, they said there were even these private security guards, the people manning that particular property. So there were just 2. Wow. So one escaped unhurt. It was just one of them that was trapped. So the search and rescue operation was actually, was concentrated on, rescuing that particular person that was trapped in the building. Yeah.
In the course of doing this,
we succeeded in rescuing him alive. Evacuated him as quickly as possible to the hospital for further medical attention.
Okay, in the course of all this, what would you say were some of the challenges you encountered?
The basic challenge we encountered in that operation was that of accessibility. Yeah, number one, many of the critical stakeholders that had role to play in coming to provide search and rescue services, found it difficult to locate. There's one thing to have an information, it's another thing for you to be able to locate to be able to assess where the incident occurred. So in this particular one, the street, in fact, the road leading to the incident scene is not a very popular one, and the terrain too is a little bit very difficult for vehicles to actually navigate and access that location. And because it involves building collapse, I will need to use all this heavy equipment, earth-moving equipment, excavators, and the rest. And you know very well that some of them have on chain wheels that you need to use this other truck that's called low beds to bring the equipment to the incident scene. But because of the nature of the road, involving the location, sharp corner and the rest, it was not easy for the truck to maneuver and have the equipment delivered to the incident scene as quickly as we wanted.
You can imagine if you had more people.
Yes.
It was a residential area.
Yes.
Before you'd be able to get to them, a lot of life.
Yes. So that was actually the major challenge, assessing the place and getting the equipment to be delivered, because we really, engage the equipment for the search and rescue operation.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned other organizations that are also there. Yeah. From your own point of view, what's your impression about their roles?
Yeah, for me,
Was also a quick response?
I was actually very impressed with the level of coordination, level of collaboration, and it's actually a fallout of the fact that in Abuja, we've actually been meeting as stakeholders in disaster management. So it was not really a big task for us to understand our roles and responsibility. It was not a big task for us to see how we can partner, how we can cooperate and collaborate to ensure that we had a seamless exercise. So every stakeholder understood what is expected of them, and the collaboration and understanding was seamless. That's why we're able to get that result that we got by successfully evacuating the trapped person out of the building.
Okay, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk to us about lessons learned and then the advice you have for the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. All right, we've been discussing the building collapse that recently happened, and then how NEMA went into action to make sure that lives were rescued and we didn't have more casualties like the one they had. And you've heard from the head of operations, NEMA Abuja. Let's take this break. And when we come back, he's going to talk to us more. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Us to say our goodbyes on the program. As usual, I remain your host the most, Omaride with Erese, and I'll always be here with my bestie.
Je m'appelle Oguntayo Olaniposi Justina.
Speaking French now, from Jordan to Sweden.
Adios.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. Yes, our conversation continues with the head of operations, NEMA Abuja. We're talking about, now we want to look at the lessons learned, and then advice and what we should do. And their own responsibilities to make sure they protect lives and properties in the Federal Capital Territory, and anything that they need to do or that they will advise us to do to make sure that we are safe and also to help them do their job easily, we need to take those advice. So let's talk more on it. All right, before we went on that break, I know you have explained the role of the other agencies. Now let's look at from your own and the lessons we learned from everything. You've talked to us about the location. There was this hindrance because of the location of the building. But what other things did you observe?
There's every reason for us to take building plan very seriously. All the relevant organizations that are saddled responsibility of approving a particular plot of land for development, to those saddle responsibility of supervising the actual development, ensuring that high quality materials are being used, the building or the property is not situated.
Not the responsibility of some Standard Organization of Nigeria?
I wouldn't know, but the relevant organization should know, ensuring that the building or the property is not erected in a compromised location, in a swamp area, in a floodplain, because these are some of issues that can actually weaken the structure of a building. So relevant authority, development control, FCTA, they should all come together to ensure that whatever approval is given for a particular structural development is complied with, and all the standards are met to ensure that the quality of what you have at the end as a building or as a property is not compromised.
Okay, while all this rescue was going on, what would you say was the role of the residents that were around there? Is there help?
Yeah, the residents, like we always say, whenever there's a disaster, the community where that disaster occurs automatically becomes a stakeholder in the response operation. So as a matter of fact, the residents of that community, of that neighborhood, were the first to, try to see what they could do in way of assistance, trying to see how they could remove some debris and whatever. But even though they were handicapped, because some of them were so heavy that you cannot just use your bare hand to remove, and that was why we had to wait for the engagement of excavator and the rest. But by and large, for me, what they did that was very important and helpful was the fact that they were able to give us relevant information as per the people residing there, how many people were trapped, and this and that. Because if we hadn't known that somebody was trapped there at the time we got there, we'll have thought maybe since it's an uncompleted building, nobody was living there. But as a matter of fact, they were the one that gave us that information that no, people used to reside there, and they saw one of them. In fact, funny enough, they were calling at the beginning of the operation, were calling the man that was trapped, and he was responding to calls to really tell you that yes, he was trapped inside the building. But after a while, maybe due to exhaustion or whatever, he was not responding to our call again. So the community, the residents of that community, did very well by providing us with the information. And I'm sure they were also the one that called our call center in the National Emergency Management Agency, where the information was as swiftly as possible relayed to me before, and I started alerting all the relevant critical stakeholders. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now before we let you go, we want to know, because you are in charge in the FCT, what advice will you give? Building just collapsed, the rain is here, our drainages and all that, we must protect our lives in as much as NEMA is trying to do their best, which too should be able to. So it's all hands on deck. So what do you have to say to them?
Thank you, Cynthia. Before I say any other thing, we should always continue to have our emergency numbers in our brain.
Okay.
The national one is 112.
Okay.
The NEMA one is 0800, call NEMA. Because whether we like it or not, nobody is praying for, but there will always be disaster. Okay. As we are doing everything possible to see how we prevent it, it will certainly occur. So, but if it occurs and you don't have these numbers to call, like this incidents of building collapse, thank God for one of the residents that called our call center. How would you have gotten the information, talk less of even taking appropriate response action? So it's good for us to be very familiar with this, our contact, our emergency call numbers, 112 and 0800, call NEMA. And having said that, for building collapse, we should try, I've said it before, the relevant authority should take it very seriously to ensure that before you approve for erection of a property, building or whatever in a particular location, let them assess the topography, the soil, physics of whatever of that particular location, so that you are sure that this approval you are giving, whatever structure is going to be erected, will be able to stand the test of time. And at the same time, too, as the building or the properties ongoing in terms of construction, once in a while they should be intermittently visited to supervise and ensure that the high quality materials, like I said, are being used. And one other thing again, we should take our urban and regional planning very seriously. Because we notice that in that particular incident, we have an entrance, and the response operation will have been faster if we had gotten a different exit point, so that as vehicles or our response equipment are coming from one direction, then they can be exiting through the other direction. But in this particular situation, it wasn't like that. So please, our urban and regional planner should, as a matter of urgency, try to see how in every street, in every location, they should take disaster emergency management as a core priority in approving whatever is going to be built or erected in any particular location. We should also have it in mind that, okay, I've given this approval, this property will be developed here. What emergency measures or tips have I integrated into this approval before the actual erection of the structure? So it's very important that we take emergency of residents of that particular education very seriously. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, we really need to take it very seriously because nobody prays for emergency or nobody prays for disaster. And if it comes, you have to make plans for it. Thank you so much. And once again, thanks to NEMA, for your actions, your swift response to their call. Imagine if you had said, okay, we are coming or we don't have this, we don't have that. It's not been a different story, but you are always ready to respond. So I want to say thank you. So on behalf of all those that were there and all the people that were rescued, we will say thank you so much. Yes, we've been talking about emergency, okay? NEMA in action. Yes, you can see what they did. They were just there to make sure. And they assured us, from the first episode, as he came here, he said he's assuring us of their responsibility to protect lives and properties, to make sure there's no danger, okay, anytime. All right. So the program is still Good Morning Abuja. Right now, I want to take this musical. Yemi Alade is standing by to entertain us. So let's go there.
Yemi Alade, something so. This my African hands, them gon' love you. Yeah, my African lips, them gon' kiss you. Whoa, my African hips get down to you. Whoa, my African legs, them gon' run to you. Whether you come here to break dance, I be you come here to shake hands. You come here to make plans. Never would it reach us motherland. Whether you come here to rock West, I be not to find good, everything they never would it reach us motherland. Anywhere you go, London, USA, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Biko eruya wayo, wayaga, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? Ayayaya, weruya wayo, wayaga, karibu kiti, utapewa nini?
This my African audience will love you. This my African arms, they will squeeze you. Yeah, my African ears will listen to you. My Kenyan legs will run to you. Yeah. Now come on, umekuja ku break down, umekuja ku get down, umekuja ku take chance. Hakuna matata eh. Kama umekuja kulipa la eh, kupiga densi oh. Hapo ulipo eh, kata kiuno.
Yes, thank you, Yemi Alade. Yemi Alade is one woman I respect so much. She has this strong energy. And, she's saying to us that we are proudly Africans, proudly Nigerians. So there's no place like home. And I tell you, there's no place like home. So I'm joining Yemi Alade to say to you that there's no place like home. We are beautiful people. Now we want to discuss something a little lighter or fun. Okay, lighter and fun. Since our children are on holidays, I'm sure yours are with you there. It's time for us to talk about them now that they're on holidays. We are looking at how our children can take advantage of our local tourism centers, areas the family can just go out with their children, sit out. And we have someone who is a tourism promoter. She's also an advocate for women and children empowerment. So she's here to tell us why we need to take our children out. And she's going to tell us where that is safe in the FCT that we can take our children to. Please join me as I welcome Dr. Charity Akpambo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Me.
Wow, thank you so much. Why do you think it is necessary for parents, to take advantage of this season, this holiday season, and take the children out to our local tourism centers?
It is very, very necessary, the way I call it, because it's actually a means of relaxation. It's also something that brings the family together, that builds bonding. I know children are very curious. It's good that when they're in school, the parents are not there. They're not there in their classroom to see what they are doing. Only when they come back home, at times they spend just few hours with the children. So that time to really interact with your kids are not there, to know how curious they are in discovering their environment. So that's why it's very, very important. This holiday, it's a very long one. It's actually an opportunity for parents to get to know their children better, that adventurous side of their children, to get to bond with their children, to also get to help the children to understand their environment better, to understand nature, and also to teach them and imbibe in them some attributes, some values, that you may not have had that opportunity to do, especially when you go out. When you go out now, it's more like recreation. It's more like an adventure. You take them here, you take them there. How do they really react? It's different from when you go as a school. There are instructions, from the school. You say, okay, children, we're on a straight line. Don't go left, don't go right, don't do. But when you're with your children, they are free. They really want to explore what is around. So you look at them, you try to understand them. You're understanding them, you're also educating them, because they'll ask you more questions. Mommy, what is this? Mommy, what is that? Mommy, I want to eat this. Why do I have to eat this? So it's an opportunity for you to educate them, to add your own voice now to their life in outdoor education. That's what I call it. You educate them, okay, you're eating this fruit because it gives you this nutrient. So now they're understanding it from a different perspective, that they're not just eating food because they just want to munch and all that, but there's another value.
They have a better education.
Yes, that is going to add to their life. So for me as a person, I'm actually very passionate about children. I'm actually, because I also grew up like that. During the long vacation, we're always going out with my dad. My dad is very social, so we go out with him. And then there are always long vacation schools that we'll have to go to. So with that already, I grew up that way. That's why every time around me, I have that opportunity. I take children for swimming, families, especially families, because you don't get that opportunity. Parents are very busy. So actually encourage parents. It's also your own way of relaxing when you go out with your children, to have fun. I mean, we all need fun.
Honestly.
All work and no play makes Jack stop. So you also need Jack. Everybody, I'm telling you. So we also need that time to also express ourselves too. So you go out with your children, they are swimming. Don't just sit down and be watching them. Go into the water, even if you're not swimming, just go and have a feel. You can stay on one side, or you start learning how to swim. So you know about when they are swimming, you're just there, you're watching them. Don't pour water on me. No, let them splash water on you. You have to play together.
So that the children will not get home and yab you.
No, no, they'll definitely yab you when they splash water. You're like, mommy, when I splash water.
I thought you say you know how to swim.
So you're building yourself, you're building that relationship, a better relationship with your children. You're building your children's confidence, that boldness in them. And you're also creating an awareness, in them, and, exposing them to the environment and to some character, and values that they need to add to whatever it is that they are learning from school. So that is what I feel about that. It's very important.
A lot of people will say, these places we're going to, is this safe? Is it secured? For them to take there, especially when families want to go out. So for you, who is a promoter of tourism in the FCT, so can you just give us some areas or places that you feel okay? Like, I know the zoo is safe because I followed the children to the zoo, and it was very safe. So what other places do you think? Because I'm sure some parents are even on leave or at home because their children are at home. So those places in the Federal Capital that you feel that they can take you. Let's hear them.
Yeah, there are a lot of places you can take your children to. I'm a nature person, so most times I like going out to nature. Our children, nowadays children, they are in-house. I mean, if they're back from school, they don't really go out. A lot of them have not seen these animals except seeing them on the TV. So I usually advise parents to take their children. We have the Children's Park and Zoo, So the National Children's Park and Zoo is in Aso Drive. Just behind those barracks. It's very, very safe. You have a lot of animals there. You have the lion there. You have buffaloes. You have donkeys. You see a lot of animals, monkeys, different species.
and all that. And then the serene environment. And they also have the park, where children can also do their rides, bouncing castles and all of that. So you have that. It's very interesting for family because where you
it's a national park, so everybody can just go there.
Yes.
Wow. We have a lot of places that one can visit.
Yes.
And I know because you're a lover of natural, that's why you just went to this. Now, I know that you've just told us one or two, advantages, the bond. Now, I want you to, as we round up, I want you to advise the parents and then tell them the advantages of bonding right now with the children now that they're on holidays and taking them out to these places. What it will do, that means they are learning, but it's also fun for them. So we want it to do.
So again, as I said, it's very, very important for parents to bond with their children this period. This holiday period, holiday comes we have 3 holidays in a year, but this is the longest and it's the most beautiful time to bond with your children. Outside the fact that you're bonding with your children, you're educating your children, you're also relaxing, you're also having fun with your children. There are parties too. This is the period that you should be having party in your house every weekend. It's either you're going for a party or you're visiting your friends. The party doesn't have to be a birthday party like the way I used to do. I can just call my friends and say, oh, everybody come with your kids this Saturday. Let's have lunch in my house. So the children are bonding, the parents are bonding. There are some of your friends that you've not seen for a long for a long time. So you just have to go, and for your mental health, my dear, it's actually very important. So it's important for your mental health. It's important for work-life balance because you've been working out. How do you balance work and family? So all these ways, when you're bonding with your children, going out with your children, having fun, interacting. You also interact. You make new friends too. When you go out, you make new friends. You meet new people. You get to exchange ideas. With people that you meet out there. You don't know who will have the right word for you until you start interacting with them. So I think those are all the benefits why we really have to go out. It's good for our mental health. It's good for also health, our own, not just mental, but a healthy lifestyle because the oxygen that we breathe comes from the tree, it comes from nature. So if you've been so busy and choked up, at times it's just better you just go there and ease off the stress and allow nature heal you. Yoga and exercising.
It's just obvious that you have been doing just that. So you're practicing what you're just preaching. As we're just talking, I was just imagining going to those places, having fun, and then bonding with other families. Very, very interesting. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for what you're doing. I am, when I say living testimony of what you do for children, I've seen you take children around to make sure that they have fun. Thank you so much. And you've heard it. Now that the children are here, this is the holiday adventure. Take advantage of this season. Take your children around, take your children around. We have a lot of beautiful places in the FCT. And she is saying to us, it's safe. Yeah. It's safe for you to take your children out, and then when they go there, they meet people, increases your contacts. You may even find a business partner there. All right, thank you so much. Yes, we've been talking with Dr. Charity Akpogbo. She is a tourism promoter and an advocate for women and children empowerment. Should I call her a lover of children? Let me put it that way. Now the program continues with these quotes. Yes, these quotes are on life. Okay, so let's see them and we'll be right back. still Good Morning Abuja and NJ Channel 5, the Unity Station. Did you see those quotes? I tagged them the quotes of life. The one that interests me most is the one that says, never be a prisoner of your past. See, it was just a lesson, not a life sentence. So indirectly saying to you, have you fallen? Dust your bum bum and move on. There are better things ahead for you. Now it's time for us to go into the kitchen, and you know what? It's rainy season, the weather is cold, so I decided, just me, yours truly decided to dish out to you catfish pepper soup with this porridge yam. Yes, just to warm me up. So from my kitchen to you is catfish pepper soup. So let's see how Nelly made this one for us. Let's go there.
Good morning, Abuja. Good morning and welcome back to the kitchen segment with me, your host, Nelly's Ville's Diaries. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make catfish pepper soup and porridge yam. Very, very delicious. You do not want to miss this. So without any further ado, let me quickly introduce you to our ingredients. So for this recipe, I have my well-cleaned catfish, okay? I have my washed and cut yam. I have my pepper blend here, scent leaves, palm oil, salt, pepper soup spice, and of course our seasoning cubes. Okay, that's it for this recipe. Let's jump right into this cooking action, guys. I'm going to use this wok to cook my yam. Like I said, my yam is already washed. This is a cook with me, okay? And then I'm going to add salt. I'm going to cover it and bring my yam to a boil. Here with this pot, I'm going to start cooking my catfish pepper soup. Has been properly washed and cleaned, and this catfish was a gift. So I'm going to gently place the fish. So to that, I'm going to add my pepper blend. So this consists of my shombo, okay, and scotch bonnet peppers, onion. That's it, okay? So I'm going to go in and add water, okay? Just enough to add my salt. I'm going to add my seasoning cube. And then my pepper soup spice. This is so fast and easy, okay? My pot, and allow this to cook, okay? Until the fish is ready. And whilst our yam is also cooking. Our yam is ready. So I'm going to just confirm with my fork. Yeah, you don't want it to be mushy, okay? So I'm going to decant the water and I'll come back and show you how I put this yam together, right? Let's do this. Water decanted. I'm going to go in, but I left a little tiny bit of water. Now it's time to add my palm oil. Remember that our yam is already salted, so I'm going to go in with the palm oil. So this is how the Ikwere man, the typical Ikwere man, will make his pepper soup, catfish pepper soup and yam. And just, mix in well with the yam while our pepper soup is boiling. I'll see you guys later. Our yam is ready. So this is how you want it to be. I'm going to turn off the cooker and wait for our pepper soup to be ready. Okay, see you guys. It's a moment of truth, guys. Welcome to the taste test. Going and cut into my yam. Perfect doneness. Tastes nice. My pepper soup. Come and join me, you guys. Hey, 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 hey. So nice, like so nice. So you can grab everything together, okay? I'm trying to be careful here. I'm not really a fan of catfish. Because of you guys, I'm going to be doing this. Okay, the fish. This is so good.
would agree with me. That hot catfish pepper soup is just for you. And I tell you, we are blessed with a lot of traditional ingredients that you can use for pepper soup, and most of them are just medicinal. So you need them, especially in this cold weather. Now, before we wrap up the show, let's see what the weather looks like so that you plan your day accordingly. Let's see it. With that weather forecast, we have come to the end of today's edition of Good Morning Abuja. We hope we inspired you as we promised. We hope we inspired, we entertained you, we enlightened you, we educated you. Yes, we want to say a very big thank you to all our guests. Remember, yes, the building collapsed. We must make sure that we protect ourselves. Apart from NEMA looking out for us, protecting our properties, protecting our lives, we must make sure that we protect ourselves. And to those who plan the buildings, please remember that human beings will live in there. And if you're living in a building that you suspect that is about to collapse, please pack your shoes and run. I want to say thank you to Dr. Charity. Yes, our children are on holidays and they need to go to we have a lot of tourist centers, areas, safe tourist areas that families can go with their children. That's what she's saying to us today. So it's been a wonderful time with you. I'm excited spending this time with you. And I say a very big thank you for spending our time. And if you feel you've missed the show, you don't need to worry. You can go on YouTube, NTA Channel 5 Abuja, Good Morning Abuja, and you have all that we've packaged for you today. My name is Cynthia Opena, and I want to say to you, please stay safe. You know I love you so much. Keep being good, doing good, and loving this beautiful country of ours. Remember, there's no place like home. Bye for now.